Hello and welcome to today's video. This is one that I'm really excited for, because this is going to be my first video that is based off of a request that somebody else has made for a video. So, Paweł Matuszewski, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, has asked for this video. This is my T-Rex video, and I'm gonna be honest, I really enjoyed building this thing, so I'm probably going to follow it with another series of dinosaur videos. So, let's get into this T-Rex. Okay, so let's start off with the T-Rex. There's a couple main parts. We've got the head first. It's held on here with a clip. As I said this, I'm going to start taking it apart. It's basically just a fairly simple head piece. I'm going to get into how we build these later, so don't pay too much attention to how they're built now. Then we've got the body. So here's the tail, just a bunch of clip things. We've got this body, which it has two parts. We've got the actual normal stud's body, and we've got the body, the part of the body that has things on its side. And then we've got these legs at the bottom. I'm not even going to count the arms as separate pieces because they're just so small. Okay. Let's start off with the skull. So here is the first part of the skull. I've got these two red horn pieces. I like using these as eyes of evil creatures just because they look cool. So let's start with those. Those are the eyes. Everything else here is black. Then we've got these pieces. They're not clips, they're I'm not sure what you call this. They've got full loops, and they're used to hold the eyes onto the head, just by sticking them in there like that. Okay, so we've got this 4-studded Travis brick. One stud on each side and the top, but not on the bottom. This is used for the base of his neck. It holds the back of his head on the sides of his head and the top of his head. Then we've got this double one. It just got studs on two sides. It's used to give it a bit more texture. We've got 3 of these. Those are used for the sides of his head and the front of his nose. They're just these cheese slope pieces. And we've got this slope piece. It's 3 long, has this one indent at the back, which we're going to fill with this 1x1 tile. And we've got this piece, which is kind of like the cheese slopes, except it's got this tile on the bottom. It's one of those pieces. And then we've got this one clip, which is used to clip his head to his body. Okay, so let's get into building this dinosaur's head. So we take one of these loop pieces first and add the horn on this side. We do the same with the other, except mirrored. That way they both point forward when you put them on opposite sides of his head. Let's put that one there. You can do this one like this. Okay, so there we go. Those are going to be his eyes. Then we can grab this Travis brick. You take the hole in the bottom, take this 1x1 plate, put it on the top. Put this slope going forward right on top of that plate. Perfect. And then we can take this, put it going off the side. And we take one of our cheese slopes and put it on the nose. There's his nose. So we can take each of these, put one on each side of his head, which should leave only 3 places that we need to cover now. These front 2 holes on his head, and then this back one. So these front 2 we just cover with these plates, give them kind of cheekbones. And I kind of like the rugged way this looks, though you can add tiles there if you need, or if you want. And then for the back of his head, we take this float and put this clip on, and that is this dinosaur's head. That is all the pieces that we need to build it, and that's actually a pretty good head for a reptile. Okay, so let's move on to the body. Okay, so these are all the pieces we're going to need for his torso. So first off, the chest is made of this rounded bottom plate and this 2x4. They're just going to go like that, which gives him that weird arch on his chest. Then we've got these plates which hang off the sides and give us room for his legs. There's 2 of those. And then we've got these 2 that stick up right in front of those, which hold his arms and his sides. Then we've got 4 jumper plates for his back and 4 clips which make the bridge on top of the jumper plates. Then we've got a 1x2 plate here, and one in black and one in tan, which just helps fill. Same with this 2x2 plate. And we've got these 2 which hold on the tail and the head. Okay, so let's get building. Okay, so to build this body, we want to start off with this piece. We want to take our rounded plate and put it on the bottom on one side. This is going to be the front, closer to his head. This is going to be the back, closer to his tail. So then we want to take 2 of these, put one on each side, going straight out. And then we can take this plate here, and one of these bars going back. That will hold his tail on, and that is just a filler piece. Then we can take each of these, put those directly on top, which will hold on his legs. Then we can take this 1x2, put it in between those 2 there, and this, which will hold on his head. Then we can take our 2x2 plate there, put it there, which will give him his arch back. Then all we need to do is take our jumper plates, put them one after the other across his back. And then we need to take our clips and put them on top. And and that will give him his arched back with the ridge on the top. Then we can take our head piece and there we go. Not dragon, I keep mixing this up with dragon. T-Rex with a head, but no legs and no arms and tail. So let's fix that. Okay, so the tail is really simple. We've got these two clips with studs on them, and they just clip right one after the other, like that. And they're this two-studded kind, and the clip, not the one-studded, because otherwise that won't reach quite all the way across. And then we've got one of these sand-colored tan clips, and that just fits right there. And we've got a slope for there, and two clips, which continues the ridge down his back. This tail piece is the part that really connects the tail to the rest of his body, because it has part of his belly and part of his ridge spine on the back. We connect this piece, and it's just got a smooth piece, pretty easy. This is the tip of his tail. I was contemplating whether to add a cone onto the end or not, and that's really your choice. Cone might help and narrow it down better, but then it doesn't end quite as small as I wanted. Anyway, then we can just clip this onto the back of the T-Rex, and that is most of our T-Rex done. He is just lacking legs right now, and arms, but I'm not really going to acknowledge the arms that much because they're just pathetic. So let's start building those. So the legs are really fairly simple. Basically, we've got the piece that goes up into his back leg that connects into this disc. This disc makes it look like he's got the big muscle right close to his hip. Then we've got this piece which helps to nest him with that. So I'm going to show you it as we build onto it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is part of his side, and that is his arm. It's just a clip in one of these weird pieces, like that. Or you could do it the other way. There's some clips now that have the bar, and it's just one piece. And you can use one of the other ones that clips onto that. Anyway, so I'm going to show you as we build it onto the dragon. Sorry, not dragon T-Rex. I always make that mistake. I'm not sure why. Anyway, we start by putting this little L piece on. Then we can take this clip. It's a side clip, so it should come out like that. And then we can take this bar, put it on like that, and this disc, which gives him that big muscle right there. Then we can put this one on the back of his leg, and this on the front. And that is the dragon's back leg completed. Then we can put this right here, this clip going like this. Because we angled that weird half circle, quarter circle plate like that, his hand can now tilt down but not up, which is a function I kind of like. Then we can clip that on, and that is his arm, and we can just repeat that for the other side. Okay, so that is the T-Rex. But really, that's not enough. I mean, you've got a T-Rex, but it doesn't have any kind of weapon systems. It needs missiles or something. So, I'll show you some of these weapons that I add. First off, I like to remove this piece, and then if we take this, one sec, and add on this kind of piece right here, and then we get these kind of lasers coming forward, but those aren't lasers. What we do is we add clips on each side, and then propellers, and we've got a helipack for our dinosaur, so you can pretend to be a helicopter. Okay, so then if we're done with that, we can just toss that to the side and move on to the next weapon system. This is one I really like. It's a big cannon. It basically just has one of these pieces at the bottom which clips onto his ridge spine. Spine ridge, whatever you call that. It's got these wing pieces and various other parts just for decoration, mostly. So it looks like a ginormous cannon. And then it can clip right there. And then we've got a Tyrannosaur with a cannon. I mean, really, I'm not sure why I built this. It's like I want the world to get taken over or something by sentient dinosaurs. So if we put that to the side, I've got yet another piece. This one's really interesting. This is a missile launcher. This isn't my own design. This is one somebody else came up with. If you take all these half pins, I don't think it's actually called a half pin. It's like a pin with a stud on the front. So if you take those and you take a brick, this is just an ordinary 2x2 brick. And then you can put one in each corner, and then one in the center. You've got 5 missiles and one little launcher, and I think that is awesome. It's a great design. Now on the back here we've got just one of these slopes. You could use an ordinary flat plate for this, or a 1x2 plate. And I've got one of these curved domes, which gives it the finishing look of a missile launcher. And I've got one for his left side and one for his right side. And then I've been debating among myself for a while on how to attach these, because you can attach it back like that, or you can twist this so it's 90 degrees forward and tilt that back. Here, you'll be able to see the difference when I put it on. One puts it way close to his head, and one puts it farther back. And I'm not even sure which one's better. I feel like this one would be better if you're creating a photo. If So you've got all three real close together, but then if you're creating a video, this one would be better because they're kind of spaced apart nice, which means you can actually see how you're doing it. Okay. So those are the missile launchers. I think that is probably my favorite add-on. But really, it's still not enough because helicopters are pretty slow. So if we take off that clip and this jumper plate and put this clip back on one side, then I've got another clip for the other side. I'm going to use a megaphone and a fire piece. And we've got fully functional dinosaur jetpack. I mean, really, why did a dinosaur need a jetpack? Maybe it wanted to cross the road or something. Anyway, so that's the jetpack for the dinosaur. And then, if that weren't enough already, if you haven't had enough of these weapons, then I've got two more. One for each hand. This one is just a clip and a sword piece. Gives the dinosaur something he can actually grab things with, which does make his hands kind of awkwardly long. But I think it's okay for the dinosaur kind of look. Then we can take that off. That's really a simple one. Then here we've got, it's one of these pieces when we've got a stud with a hole in it. Sorry, I'm not sure if I showed you that. It's one of the studs that has a hole straight through it. Plug that in the back and we take a big fire piece. And then we can attach that to his hand. And now he's got a flamethrower. And this is why I like being able to aim it down, because otherwise he kind of starts torching his face. Okay, so those are all the add-ons that I've made for a dinosaur. I think it might be a bit excessive to have that much on a dinosaur. Hello everybody, thank you for watching. I'd like to say again, thank you Paweł Matuszewski for requesting this video. I really appreciate it. And everybody, I always say I hope you make one of these, but now I'm kind of saying hoping you don't, because otherwise we're going to have some kind of apocalypse of giant robotic dinosaurs. Anyway, thank you for giving me this idea, Paweł, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Please tell me in the comments, at what point is this too much for one dinosaur? Anyway, I'll see you next video, and enjoy your week.